Hey everybody, this week on Team Elk, you're going to tag along with me in Wyoming for a hunt that I'll just go ahead and tell you didn't exactly go as planned. Then we're going with Team Elk member Dustin Elliott, who just happens to be a professional bull rider that loves the outdoors. It's a good one this week, so hey, let's get to it. Dustin Elliott is a professional bull rider. That means he makes his living in the most difficult way possible. The guy makes a king crab fisherman's job look like cake. Dustin is charismatic, he's passionate, and he loves to elk hunt.
Dustin Elliott is a guy. I mean, I think myself as normal. A lot of people probably don't for my profession. I ride bulls for a living. They probably think I got a few screws loose upstairs, but I mean, I love riding bulls. It's exciting. It's adrenaline rush, just like bearing down on a 300 class bull. I mean, I love the outdoors, and you know, I would say I'm a dad. I'm a husband. You know, I'm just, in my opinion, I'm the everyday average guy. That's Dustin Elliott in a nutshell. I started hunting when I was big enough to walk, really. Grew up hunting. Dad hunted a lot. Grandpa's hunted his whole life. I'm gonna pass that on my kids. I mean, it's the way I grew up, and it's the way I want my kids to grow up. It's the way I want my grandkids to grow up. If I can pass that torch, I'm gonna do everything I can to help do that.
Because they feed down there in the mornings and they move up this way to bed.
Exactly.
Okay.
This side or that side, but they should be in the bottom.
Okay.
You know, we were moving in. Justin spotted that bull, you know, down on the far side of the meadow, and you know, it was a pretty good clip away. But then, you know, with the wind being what it was, with the conditions being what it was, we stayed in the grassy areas. We were quiet. We snuck in. They didn't have a clue we were around.
There's two bulls that we've spotted across there, just like earlier this morning. We had a game plan. They've been feeding down in this bottom, but they're moving to the south, which is it. We're just gonna kind of angle. They have no idea that we're here, so we're just gonna kind of wait and see what they're gonna be doing. I'm thinking 350, but yeah, right in here. We'll get a good range when we get set up and get you rested up. Backwards pretty good.
You know, with a bull like that, it just sitting there is the shooter. It's just eating at you. That clock's ticking.
The big bull is right at 351 right now.
At any minute, I mean, heck, a coyote could come running through. You know, with it being opening morning, there could be a shot somewhere else from another hunter. You know, you just never know, and I'm just sitting there itching, waiting for that right shot. I mean, I'm not gonna take a bad shot by any means.
We got time, the wind's good. But just let him turn for a broadside. They have no idea that we're here. No, they have no idea.
It was almost good for me to be able to just sit there and it calmed me down a little bit. I'm comfortable that far, but it's a little different when you got one standing in your scope that's good size, 300. It was exciting knowing that, shoot, 30 minutes after opening morning sun up, here I had an opportunity to take a better bull from this place, and you know, got excited.
Bam!
Good job, buddy.
Woo!
Shoot, congratulations.
Heck yeah.
Really excited. You know, this year I get to hunt with my brother. First time we got to hunt together in 15 or 16 years.
You know, you get up here and you get a closer look at 350 yards.
You know, optics are great, but this is a solid 5x5. He's got a lot of character. He's got a little kicker right off of here on his thirds, and then his brow tines here got 2 of them as well. He broke off a 6 on that side. 5 minutes after I got mine, we heard shots to the north. Well, 1 shot. That was in the direction my brother was. He's a trash talker, I'm a trash talker. It comes with brotherhood, I guess. So we gotta have some bragging rights because we're definitely gonna try to get this done again.
My brother and I are really competitive, you know, with each other. With everything that we do, we're really competitive.
As it turns out, Dustin's brother did shoot a bull that morning, about 5 minutes after Dustin shot his. So let the brotherly smack talk begin.
Taller. I think my bull's wider,
Yeah.
but yours is taller. You're gonna tape him out.
Oh, you can tape them out.
We're competitive, obviously. Very competitive. You know, if we were tying our shoes, we'd see who could do it fastest just to see who could win. You know, I guess whatever it is, we both got our tags filled, and I couldn't be happier. This is the greatest hunt that I've been on with anybody, because it was with my brother, talking about it for years, and finally got it to happen. And I'm pumped as all get out that he got a great bull. For him to be able to take that caliber of a bull, I'm probably happier than he is, but maybe. He's pretty happy.
Congratulations to Dustin and his brother on taking 2 great bulls. Now it's time for you to tag along with me and my good friend Kurt Blake in Centennial, Wyoming. And this is a hunt that I had been looking forward to for a very long time. This is also a hunt where I was faced with something that I had never been faced with before. Let's just say I was forced with a decision, one I clearly didn't ask for. It's the first week of October in Centennial, Wyoming. There's a lot of national forest around here, a lot of public hunting. The plan was to kind of check some of that out, see what we would run into.
We're going to hunt some of the national forest up in the Medicine Bow National Forest. I also have some friends in the valley. We're going to have access to a couple of ranches that we can go to.
Was it going to be a public situation, or were we going to wind up getting onto a private ranch and being able to make something happen? When I say private ranch, I'm not talking about a private hunting ranch. I'm talking about a cattle ranch that held a few pockets of elk.
And when Brandon told me the concept of going on public ground and showing what the reality of hunting on a national forest and how difficult it can be, that sounded like something I wanted to be a part of.
But this isn't really a guided hunt. This is a couple of buddies getting together that's kind of wanted to elk hunt for a long time, and here it is. We've been on the side of this mountain for 30 minutes, glassing every nook and cranny, every little cut, every little open spot in the trees. And all of a sudden I look over in the middle of the most open prairie pasture you could possibly imagine, and there's a herd of 100 just standing there.
You know, that's closer to a 200 head herd.
200 head herd.
There's a lot of elk.
It's a lot of elk in that. Walking in, we had heard a few shots come from around the bend there, and I didn't really think that much about it, but for you to hear 2 or 3 shots and then all of a sudden 200 elk be standing where there wasn't 200 elk 30 seconds ago, you knew that something had went down. They had, you know, either they had killed an elk out of the herd on the cattle ranch next door, or you know, whatever. But you knew that something had kind of bunched them up and pushed them to where we were hunting at. Is that elk that just, what is that laying in the back of that pack? Look in the very back of the herd.
Oh, it's just laying out there?
Yeah. What is that? they started to move pretty quick back out to the east, but one didn't. There was one bedded down in the group, and we're at the very back end of the group.
I don't know, that one that was laying down and got up is a bull, and he looks like he's motoring pretty good.
It immediately hit me as something pretty strange, because I thought, these elk were on full alert. I mean, something had rattled their cage. This is just weird. Yeah, but why was he late? I mean, really? The whole herd was nervous. Why would he lay down?
Yeah. I wonder if those 2 shots, if they didn't wound one.
Had to be. The one in the back's trailing too far behind and was laying down.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna go to bed in those trees.
At least we got somewhat of a game plan for in the morning. We know where there's a whole buttload of them at, so we're gonna wrap this up. See you in the manana. You know, I told Kurt, I said, you know, look, if we come back in the morning and we're able to get back on this herd, let's really look for that bull and look him over and make sure that he's not injured or that he's not hit. And if he is hit, even if he's not the bull that we're after this week, the right thing to do would be to take that bull, because I mean, it's just kind of a no-brainer. It's the right thing to do. You know, I don't know. I think some guys might have wounded a bull in that group, and just we saw a bull last night that was way back in the back of the pack, and I don't know. I just thought he laid down there for a minute. The whole herd was on high alert. He laid down there for a minute, then he got up and he was moving really good. Maybe he's not. Hopefully he's not. If he is, that's going to be the bull that we try to find.
I mean, the anticipation level is pretty high. I'm pretty excited. We're getting ready to head out and go into a herd of 200 elk.
So the light starts to come up, and I'm not seeing anything, which I'm not really that concerned about. What I am concerned about is the fact that I'm not hearing anything. And then the more the light begins to come up and the day starts to break, I'm really not seeing anything. And I mean, I've got my Bruntons working overtime, like I'm all over the place.
Well, this isn't happening here. Let's go find out where they went.
It's like 200 head just disappeared.
Yeah.
See what Rich
You believe
saw.
in aliens?
What?
You believe in aliens?
I don't know about aliens. As we're driving out, Kurt points over my shoulder and says, "Bam!" right there. And it's not the herd of elk we've been looking for. It's the bull we saw the night before that had been shot. We were driving along, headed back to the ranch, and look right out there. There's a little small raghorn bull that's laying out there, and I guarantee you that's him. I don't know who shot him. I assume that the shots I heard from, you know, a ways off the afternoon before. Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know who to call.
We've got a decision to make. Brandon is not legally obligated to do anything with this animal.
Just a
He's
little.
not bloated up at all.
What's that?
He's not bloated up at all.
Where do you think he's hit at?
I don't know.
Like, I don't work for CSI, but I can tell you that the bull hadn't been dead for, you know, any more than a few hours. That is crazy.
Look at that, he's busted off there.
Yeah, he's just a little guy. So you're faced with a decision. What do you do? Do you pretend that you didn't see him? Do you walk off? Do you keep your hunt?
I know the landowner here. He's a really good guy. If somebody would have came and knocked on his door and said, "Hey, we've got one that's wounded. Do you mind if we take a look?" He would have probably came and helped look for it.
I've wounded animals before. I mean, as a hunter, you do it. You hunt, it comes with it. It's just, you hate it, and it like literally makes you sick. But, being in that situation a couple of times of wounding an animal, this is what I always go to bed at night praying for, that somebody will find it fast. What do? You have to put your tag on it. That's what you have to do. You don't want to, you don't like it, it's not the bull that you came after, it's not my story, it's not how I wanted my hunt to go, it's not what I planned all summer, it's not the week I spent away from my wife and my 4-year-old to come up here and tag somebody else's wounded elk, but what you do.
He could have just as easily kicked some dirt on that bull and said, hey, I've got a show to put together here. Go find me a bigger one. Let's see what we can find. I didn't shoot this bull, I don't have to take it.
I didn't shoot him. You're asking me if I want to mount another guy's elk. Really? As a hunter, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to the game that you're after. Sometimes you're walking out of there with a trophy, and then sometimes you're doing something that doesn't feel very good, and that doesn't make you really happy. But you have to do it. So there it is. I just signed my tag over and put on him. Like I said, you ever get in this situation, you do the same thing.
To step up and do the right thing and not let this animal go to waste. I'm really proud of you. It's an honor hunting with you.
I appreciate it.
That's the quietest rifle I've ever heard.
It is. It's you know, that Browning X bolt. Just whisper quiet. It just doesn't have any sound to it.
We're just gonna tape these out. I don't know if this tape measure's long enough.
We'll start with Bill. I'm gonna observe his measuring, make sure he doesn't fudge it, and I'm writing stuff down.
You're gonna have to hold that side. Don't cheat. I'm gonna make up some ground right here.
The final for mine, 298 3/4. Bill comes in at 312 1/8. He got me by 12 inches.
Yeah!
So my Wyoming hunt went a little off course. We found an elk that we clearly didn't ask to find, and we had to make a decision to prevent the meat from spoiling. However, that will not be my last trip to Wyoming, and hopefully next time I get the chance to pick where and what my tag goes on. Find out how you can become a member of Team Elk by going to rmf.org, and don't forget to tell your friends, hunting, that is conservation.